So hello guys, and welcome to another episode of Question Block. And last week I asked, what is your favorite power-up and badge in Super Mario Bros. Wonder? So Super Mario Bros. Wonder has quite a lot of new abilities, and many of them are just really fun to use. So in this video, I'll be going through some of the responses to that last question. So yeah, so Yoshi J said, my favorite power-up by far is the Drill Mushroom. I really like the utility of it, and the best part, Mario doesn't turn into a freaking Animorph. For the badge, it's easily the boosting spin jump. Should have just been called the double jump. Who would have known adding a double jump to a Mario game would have been broken and fun? Yeah, with the Drill Mushroom, I think that's really fun to use, and I really like kind of going through like the ground and everything. They actually make use of it in some levels. Like they have areas that are like either only accessible using the Drill Mushroom or like easily accessible using the Drill Mushroom. But it's kind of fun on some of those cave levels that have like a ceiling and then also like stuff on the ground as well that kind of just burst through. It's pretty fun. And it's also pretty useful when there's like a level with like either Spinies or Buzzy Beetles that are like dropping from the ceiling. So yeah, it's a pretty good power-up. I think like even in water levels, if you're underwater, you can hit like certain enemies from below, which is pretty cool. And yeah, with the boosting spin jump, that one is really fun to use. That is actually usually my go-to badge that I use if a certain level doesn't really have like a bad recommendation. I usually use the boosting spin jump. It's almost like you said, it is kind of like a double jump, but it's also kind of like the propeller mushroom as well, but kind of like a nerfed version of that. I mean, the propeller mushroom was already kind of overpowered, but this one is actually kind of like a balanced version of the propeller mushroom. So that's pretty cool. It's kind of like a mixture of both. So I think that's pretty cool how they implemented the boosting spin jump. And the fact that this game has a lot of emphasis on the spin jump in general is really cool. The last time, aside from Mario Maker, that the spin jump in a 2D Mario game has had this much attention put into it was Super Mario World. So it's cool that they kind of added more things to kind of do with the spin jump. So Ozma said, the elephant power-up, and the badge that lets you do an extra leap on a wall jump. Yeah, the elephant power-up is really cool. It's definitely pretty useful in certain areas with breaking through like a bunch of brick blocks. Because there's actually, like, I think there's at least one secret exit that requires you to kind of break through some of the brick blocks, so it's pretty useful with the elephant fruit, and it's just pretty cool in general, like how you actually have like some extra like strength and weight to your character and everything. Since you can do the attack with the trunk, which is just really cool to do. I like whenever there's like a kind of like a physical attack, like either like punching or like basically you're pawing like with the cat suit, or also using the tail with like the Tanuki suit and raccoon power up and everything. The using the trunk like that is just pretty cool. And then also the fact that you can use water as well to kind of either activate things or kind of use as one of your attacks is just pretty cool. It's just overall a great power up. And it kind of makes sense why it's kind of used the most throughout the game. And it's definitely going to be pretty iconic when we look back on this game. It's definitely a pretty silly power-up overall, especially kind of looking at some of the characters and how they look with the elephant power-up. And it's also cool how it's like one of the first times that like a power-up actually makes the character like transform into like the actual animal that it's representing. I know there's other power-ups that actually make you transform, like with the Boo Mushroom, but this one is a little different since it's like the first one based on an animal, because there are other power-ups based on animals, but none of them were really one where you like transform into the animal. So I think that's pretty cool overall. And then the badge that kind of lets you do the extra, like, climb on a wall is pretty cool as well. I haven't used it as much, but it is nice that the option is there. It is nice for, like, vertical levels and things. So, yeah, that's a pretty cool badge. So J to the P Moreno said, Bubble Flower and the Crouch Jump plus Wall Climb badge. Bubble is great for extra distance, and Crouch Jump is great for reaching high areas that are normally hard to access. Same applies with the Wall Climb, on the side of an edge. Yeah, the bubble is really cool. I've already seen, like, a lot of people, like, exploit the bubble, almost like the Cape Feather a little bit in Super Mario World. I mean, it takes more skill to learn the Cape Feather, but they're both kind of exploitable in somewhat similar ways. It is cool how you can kind of, I mean, I guess it kind of is intentional how Nintendo made the Bubble Flower, because I feel like with both the Bubble Flower and the Cape Feather, I think Nintendo intended, like, skilled players to use it as a way to kind of, like, speedrun or complete levels, like, quickly and easily and everything, well, for those who have mastered those power-ups. So I kind of like how they did that with the Bubble Flower. And it's just a pretty cool power-up overall. Honestly, I would say it's an even better version of the Ice Flower. I know the Ice Flower can do some things that the Bubble Flower can't, since you can also have, like, the thing, like the ice blocks that the enemies are encased in that you can pick up and everything. But with the Bubble Flower, I just think it's a little more useful and a little more interesting than the Ice Flower. So yeah, and then the Crouch Jump badge is also really cool as well. I really like how they took that move from Super Mario Bros. 2. That's a pretty cool reference, and it's definitely great for, like, reaching high areas. I've definitely used it a lot to get some of the 10 flower coins, as well as get to, like, some of the secret areas. So yeah. So Mr. Kicks said the parachute cap. You can glide, helping you reach the top of the flagpole easily, and you can climb walls by wall jumping, gliding back to the wall, and repeating. The favorite power-up is either the elephant or bubble. Yeah, the parachute cap is also great. Like, when I first got it at the beginning of the game, I used it quite a lot. And yeah, you could also, like, gain more, like, distance or, kind of, like, climb up walls and everything. I think that is pretty cool. And it's definitely good for, like, a lot of those sky or athletic levels where there's fewer platforms. I've used it quite a lot on some of those levels that have, like, a moving platform going through certain areas, because there's just enough platforms and obstacles that you can kind of bounce off on to, like, glide. So it is pretty cool that you can, like, speed through some levels without using some of those platforms that Nintendo recommends that you stay on. It's just pretty cool that Nintendo kind of gives you that option to kind of skip through the level and kind of speed through it. It's just pretty fun in general. And then, like I said, with your favorite power-ups, the elephant and bubble are definitely pretty fun to use. So Super Mario 1 fan said, the Bubble Flower and Boosting Spin Jump 100%. Yeah, like I said, the Boosting Spin Jump is definitely my go-to badge whenever there's not really, like, a requirement or recommendation for a certain badge. It's just, like, it just adds so much to your moveset and everything. It's just so fun to use. And yeah, that's definitely gonna be, like, continue to be one of my favorites. So Violet Streak 02 said, the Fire Flower and Wall Jump badge. Yeah, the Fire Flower, even though it is a returning power-up, it still was implemented pretty well. And honestly, I feel like it actually feels a little more fluid and better to use than it was in previous games. I mean, it just kind of, like, with the whole flow of the game's controls, I feel like it just naturally improves, like, all the other aspects that were in the previous games, and the Fire Flower is definitely no exception. Another thing that I like about the Fire Flower is that, like, there's actually a better animation for it. Like, Mario actually, or any of the other characters you're playing as, visually throws the fireballs, which is really cool. Like, in the new Super Mario Bros. Games, it didn't really have that interesting of an animation, so it is cool that they did something more interesting with this time. And then there's also certain levels where the Fire Flower is definitely pretty useful. Like, one of the ice, or actually like the ice levels in general are pretty useful for it, since you can kind of like break these large ice blocks with them. And yeah, and then like I said, the wall jump badge is pretty good for like vertical levels and everything, and gaining some extra height on like cliffs and everything. So yeah, Clifford Longhead said, "My favorite new power-up is the elephant fruit, because it makes all male characters hunky and the princesses, aka Peach and Daisy, cute." Yeah, that is true. It does kind of make their appearances like a lot different, like with the elephant style and everything. I do like how they look. They're just so like goofy looking and everything. It's just like you can't not love how the elephant versions of the characters look. I know some people are weird about Elephant Peach and Daisy, but I think they look cute with the elephant flower, as well as like the toads as well. I like how their like dot eyes look with the elephant. I think that looks pretty cute with them and everything. It's unfortunate that Yoshi's, like the Yoshis and Nabbit, couldn't get the elephant power up, because I think it would have been pretty funny to see them like transform in that way. But yeah, I think it is pretty cool seeing these characters transform in those ways and everything. But yeah. So Jack Attack Gaming said, "My favorite power-up in Mario Wonder is the Drill Mushroom, because it's very versatile, because in addition to going under surfaces and breaking certain materials with the Ground Pound, you can also attack enemies upward with the drill and dig through the ceiling to find many secrets. And my favorite badge is obviously the Vine Grab, which makes this game the real Spider-Man 2. Yeah, like I was mentioning with the Drill Mushroom, it's just really fun to use in general. You also mentioned, like, with the Ground Pound as well, which I haven't mentioned earlier. That's also pretty cool, and I like how when you, like, Ground Pound into something and drill into something, it actually makes, like, the block breaking sound effect from Super Mario World, which is just a really cool little reference that they have there. But yeah, the Drill Mushroom is definitely pretty fun. And then with the Vine Grab, that is also really cool, and it's just definitely one of the coolest looking badges in the game. And yeah, like you said, it's the real Spider-Man 2. Kind of funny how they released on the same day and kind of had, like, coincidentally similar mechanics. But yeah, the Vine Grab is definitely pretty cool. So Sushi said, "None, because I'm a Yoshi." Yeah, definitely checks out, but it is kind of unfortunate that the Yoshis can't use power-ups. I mean, it is cool how the Yoshis do have, like, a different moveset and everything, and it would have been better, like, in the game in general, if the Yoshis actually had, like, a health bar, so they weren't completely invincible in an easy mode. So, yeah, I think it would have been a little better if they made the Yoshis more of, like, a normal character, but they still kept some of the moves that they had. But yeah, I'm sorry, Soshi, that you can't use any power-ups. So E for Effort said Jet Run. Yeah, and the Jet Run is pretty cool. Even though it's like an expert one, I actually feel that it kind of does add to your, like, abilities in certain ways. It can actually make certain levels easier to speedrun. I mean, sure, it does make some levels harder, but it actually is great for speedrunning, and I think it's pretty cool overall, and that combined with the Bubble Flower is just a really cool kind of speedrunning combination. It's just pretty cool overall, and the Jet Run is definitely the best expert badge that I've used so far. It's definitely pretty fun to use. Like, the expert badges are definitely a really fun addition to this game, and I really like kind of playing the levels in different challenging ways, and I wish there were more of them. But yeah, anyways, those were some of your favorite power-ups and badges. So the next question is, what is your favorite new enemy from Super Mario Bros. Wonder. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. And make sure to check out my Discord server and Twitter if you want to. Goodbye.